Hi guys, welcome to Crypto EP191, the home of value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment. And this morning, this is really going to be an important show. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, not a little bit, but it is what it is. The market is really blowing up, and I'm not gonna lie to you, we need to understand what is really going today, and that is what we're going to be looking at on this great show. But like you all know, we normally share the link first of all so people can join us on this great platform as well, so we can we can enjoy whatever that is going on together. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please destroy the likes button, subscribe, like and share, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you can always get this juicy content as we drop it every day for you guys. Like I said, I told you guys last week, if you've been following this show, I told you guys, please stay away from some certain token. I said it. And if you look at what is going on now, exactly what I predicted or what we said on the show is exactly what is happening. So I'm surprised with the crypto bros and all of them now feeling like, no, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And, a lot of people lost money. I'm sorry about that. If you lose your money, it's not really easy or something like that. I can relate to that. But all I'm saying is we need to to take this show very serious. And the reason why I'm saying this is because what you're getting on this show is years of experience, is years of blowing accounts, losing money and all of that, and now years of research, studies, and on this show if you do not know that. And that is the reason why I'm kind of pushing forward to let you guys know you need to be part of this great show. All right, before we move on, let's see. Hold on. Let's see. You don't want to go anywhere this morning. We have a lot to discuss. Let me share on Facebook as well, so the people on Facebook can join us as well. You go to post, you click right there, you paste the link, and I think we should be good to go now. Let me paste the link, paste, remove this one. So you can see over 20 or close to 20 billion US dollars, not rands, not dirham, not whatever currency, USD dollars was liquidated from the whole crypto market. Big investors are crying, retailers are crying, but I'm sorry, because it's not good to lose money. I've been there, I've lost so much in this game, and that's why the experience is now helping me and all of that. But the truth is, I told you guys, always do not fall for all these hype, all these naysayers. They'll tell you them have it. So when they don't give them influencers, they need to influence because get paid through it. We will not lie to you. The chat will never lie to you. 100%. The chat will never lie to you. So as long as you can read the news, you know what the fundamental is talking about. You can look at the charts, you understand how to know when the market is selling, when the market is buying. With money you can afford to lose. You're not greedy, you don't fall, you will be fine in this game. Yes, a lot of us, years of experience and things, we've lost so many things before we could now understand what is going on. But the truth is, you can do it as well. And that's what today's show is all about. It's all about saying it as it is. And if you look at the screen right now, you see that Bitcoin is trading at 115,000 US dollars after the crypto bloodbath we saw on Friday, and that took us to almost $100,000. The market stopped out 102,000 US dollars. And you know what happens when Bitcoin falls? All that tokens will definitely follow. So on the show this morning, what are we going to take a look at? By the way, this is the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show, where we trade it and we do not gamble it. I'm Ahmed Oladmeji Kazim, aka KC the Great, and thanks for joining me on this wonderful show this morning. But now, what is next for Bitcoin? Because we saw over 19 billion being liquidated from the market, leverage liquidated, spot liquidated. A lot of people were crying, you understand, of which I felt their pain. But if you have been watching my show, you know that you need to stay away from the market. Look at what I told you about Bitcoin. See where I told you to get out of the market. I told you sell Bitcoin at $123,000. If you actually been watching my show, so you're not going to be caught with what happened. I told you, sell. You can see it's still red. Sell at 123,000. We've not seen a buy. The same thing if you check Ethereum out. I told you sell Ethereum at this point, 4,485. The list goes on where we're still going to come back to that on the chart. But what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say we need to take the chart serious, fundamental serious. Not all these influencers, because they are making their money, and that is what they want you to do. Buy the dip, do this, do that. They just want to make their money. They're getting paid for that. It's just like if I have an endorsement with a platform now, I'm going to promote them because they pay me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you guys need to lock in on this show, because there is no way you're going to get real truth, genuinity, and years of experience than on this great platform, Crypto Bean 101. So if you've not subscribed, subscribe, like, and share, and do not forget to turn your notification bell. So before we get into the chart, let's take a look at some news that are making waves. And you can see here we see 19 billion crypto liquidation. 19 billion crypto liquidation. That is not all. Peter Schiff claims Bitcoin could sink to 75,000 US dollars and says Ethereum looks even worse. I'm not going to lie to you. That is possible. Let's take a look at the chart real quick before we move back. That is possible. If you watch my show 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I keep saying we might be getting close to what? We might be getting close to bear market. I said it. I said the possibility of us getting close to bear market is there. We are not in bear market yet, but we might be getting close to bear market. And if that is going to happen, what do we need to do now? We need to start preparing. We need to start taking profit along the way, so we do not watch the market go up and come down again. If you understand what I'm saying. So the truth is, are we in bear market now? No. But are we close to it? Is there possibility of us experiencing it? Yes. Because one thing you know is the bull run will run for 3 years, and we're going to have the bear cycle start and run for 1 year. Then we have from the bear coming up again before the frenzy. Even though everyone keeps saying, yes, this might be the super cycle, this might be this cycle might not be like the old one, this is new. Yes, I understand. This cycle might be different because we now have smart money in the game. But the truth is, we need to accept the fact that what the chart is showing us is not even relating to what people are saying. If you know the reason why I told you, or why I said we might be seeing the market crashing, was because I saw the fear and greed last week. And when I look at the fear and greed, I was shocked. I was like, okay, if the market is just moving back to, let's say, I think, let me show you on the chart. I think we are moving back to all-time high after the interest rate. And all of a sudden, we're already in greed already. And I was like, no, this doesn't make sense. If you're already in greed, and the market has not even broken the all-time high, don't you know, by the time it breaks the all-time high, we'll be, excuse me, we'll be at maybe extreme greed. And the moment I get to extreme, people start selling. So that means the market will fall back. Then I was like, no, let's take a look at this very well. Because if we are getting close to greed and the market is just moving just a little bit, so how are we going to get to 180, 200, 240, 400 this bull cycle? You understand? And if you look at the last cycle, the same thing happened. People were shouting, we're going to hit 100, 150. I remember I told a friend of mine then, was having a lot of money in his wallet. I said, please sell, because I feel like we have gotten to the end of this. He said, no, the market is dead, the market dumped. Almost everyone lost money bull cycle. Now they are coming out to admit it this after this crypto crash. I saw one of the big YouTubers, I'm not going to mention name, say he lost 100 million. And I believe it, because all of them made a lot of money last bull cycle. Remember, it was COVID, stimulus, a lot of money was printed, 3 trillion. NFT was pumping, everything was pumping, and he said he lost it. He came out to say, but why didn't he say it then? They are not going to tell you guys. They will never tell you. That's why I'm launching a live trading show, and you're going to see from $100 how I'm going to take it to a big amount, and it's a challenge. If I win, I'm okay. If I lose, I'll do it again. Because I'm all about sharing the real value about the space. Enough of people just letting people lose money. So if you've been watching my show, I told you sell Bitcoin at 123,000. I said it. I said Bitcoin is a sell at 123,000. I saw some other crypto say no, to the moon, to the moon, to the moon. No. So we need to really take care of that. All right, let's take a look at some other news, and this is good. This is not really good. You can see Bitcoin fear and greed index crashes to lowest level in 6 months, and I'm not really even surprised about that, because I saw how fast we went to greed, and I knew people would start selling and we might pull back to fear. But is it over yet? I am not saying it's over. We're going to come back to the chart and discuss more about that. Now take a look at this. As Bitcoin and altcoin tries to recover from historic crash, BNB rises again, and CZ reveals the source of BNB successful. If you watched my show last week or throughout, I told you don't sell BNB, even though I gave you where to get out of the market. And you can see where I told you to get out of the market at 1,132, and BNB dropped to 85. And I was even thinking it's going to drop to around this 900, but then we're going to take a buy. Now, is BNB a buy now? That is now the real question. Because we can see BNB is moving back. Out of all the old tokens, the one that has made it up back to all-time high and is doing well. Remember, they are now launching meme coins on BNB now. And even YZI Lab, which is the lab for Binance, they are now even investing 100 billion US dollars into creators support, to support people to come and launch this. So BNB will do well because of now is you remember when Solana was doing well because they were launching meme coins there, and you all know meme coin is a game of gambling. Thousands of meme coin will launch a day, but people will lose money, some will make money. It's like gambling, but the real utility is what I'm talking about. Okay, so we need to know that this movement or this thing we are seeing, we need to know how the whole thing will go. Okay, so now let's take a look at what is going to happen with BNB. If you look at BNB now, BNB has come to break the all-time high that it created, 1,350. Do you need to jump on it right now? I'm not going to lie to you. Honestly, we saw a dip here where we need to buy. Let's go to weekly time frame quickly for this BNB. Let's go to weekly time frame quickly, and I'm going to tell you what we need to do. On weekly time frame, you'll see that we broke this part. A pullback broke the knees. Now we put entry at 1,200. So is BNB a buy now? Yes. BNB is activate that point. So do we need to get into B now? Yes, we can. But remember, this is not financial advice. It's education purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research and trade with the money you can afford to lose, because trading is risky and you could lose all your money. So BNB now is looking great, and the reason why it's looking great is not because CZ is saying something, it's because he hit a milestone of $1,000, and everyone believed that when such thing happen, people will start jumping on it, and a lot of people shift from Ethereum and Solana and start launching on what? On BNB, and that's why we're seeing what is going on. But now, as a trader or as an investor, what do you need to do? Maybe you've blown your account, maybe you've lost all your money. Don't worry, I'm going to give you hints of what we need to do later. Stick to the show because I have something I want to share. So with BNB doing great, I don't think we need to be surprised. What we need to look at is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some other utility coins that we know that they need to push back. Are we going to see proper recovery from them? If we don't, believe me, this might be the beginning of what? Of bear market. Still speaking of BTC, Bitcoin extend losses after Trump threatens fresh tariffs and export curbs. We all know, everyone, they're blaming the dump on Donald Trump because of the news. He gave that he's going to now tariff China 100%, that they're playing games and all of that. But you remember, after the market dump and all of that, he came out to say, okay, he's now in talk with China and they'll see what they do and all of that. But what I'm trying to tell you is, even before that event, I said it, that please stay away from Ethereum, stay away from Bitcoin. I mentioned it. You can see all these tokens you're seeing there. I analyze them every day of the week on this show. So if you've been watching my show, you will not be in the same mess with other people. All right, let's continue. Let's take a look at some other news, and this one is Hyperliquid Whales new 163 million Bitcoin short sparks speculation, possible inside timing. You see, let me tell you something. This is true, because look at this news again from India. India may probe more than 400 Binance trader for suspected crypto tax evasion based on FIU 2020 to 2025. This is one thing you guys need to understand when it comes to this crypto. You know, when AA Star was mooning, I said it on my show. I said, please, yes, it's a good product that want to compete with this Hyperliquid. But the truth is, it's only mooning and doing well now because CZ said something about it. But it's not mooning or doing well because we see that we now have massive traders on it. We now see that the execution is good. We now see that we've not seen that. It's just because someone said something about it. And I told you, please don't jump on it. Even though you want to buy, let it drop down back. Let me show you where A-Star is right now. See, you see, A-Star dumped to 0.9 cents. Something that went to almost $2.5. You see what I'm saying? I see my red coin, the red line. The red line means I told you to leave the market. Because the chart is not going to lie to you. Influencers can lie to you. YouTuber can lie to you. But the chart can never lie to you, because the chart is the representation of what is happening in the market. If 100 billion should come into the market now, the chart is going to tell us. And if 1 billion should leave the market, the chart is going to reflect it. You understand? So that is the one thing I need. So is there insider trade out, those things happen. Remember, these exchange companies are owned by people, are owned by a group of people. Because a lot of people are coming out that this black swan that we saw that happen on Friday was an inside job, and it's not only one person, it's due to, collaboration of sex. But it's not only sex that had issue. Centralized exchange are not the only problem. Even Hyperliquid, even Esther DEX, even other DEX, which is decentralized exchange, they had issues too. So what are you going to talk about that is because you need to understand that now we have smart money in crypto space. It's no longer you and I. We have billionaires that they push the market to the top and they can dump it anytime. So what you need to do, you need to play smart. Play smart in essence of trading and following their full step by watching the chart. Okay, they've made money, we have a kicker now, stay away from me. We saw see the day I told you to leave the market. I said please get out of Bitcoin at 23K on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we saw a pushback. If you remember, I told you guys, forget about this pushback. It's just a pushback until we see market breaking the all-time high. We have a structure. What happened? The fourth day, the market dropped. Then the fifth day, which was on Friday, or the third day, I'm coming one to the fourth day of Friday, the market dumped. You see, so inside trading or no inside trading, that will always happen. Even in companies, you always see all those things happening because do you know how much how many BNB coin CZ is worth right now? It could dump it anytime on you guys. It could dump it anytime. There's nothing that you're going to do about it. It's business. And they will still tell you trade, buy the dip. Because why won't you buy the dip? Because they're charging you commissions. When you buy, they charge you. When you sell, they charge you. So you need to understand all these things, guys, so you do not fall a victim. But let's talk about XRP real quick before we dive back into the chart. XRP rebounds 8% as 30 billion flows back in after trade war routes. Let me tell you something about XRP. I told you XRP, Ripple as a company, they've put so much effort in making sure it's a success that most of the country are using Ripple instead of Swift and all of that. But people don't like what the model behind that structure. You understand? XRP might even shock all of us in future. And why? I'll tell you why. Because if they come out tomorrow and decided to change the model to what everyone wants and it's going to suit the market, XRP could blow up. But with all this, they are saying 30 billion flow by all those things. It's just not going to help us do anything. XRP has been doing so much, not even now, so much, but they're not getting anything. So we need to be careful with XRP. And if you look at the chart, you will talk about XRP. Look at the fall. XRP dropped almost below $1. You see, $1.01 from almost $4. Then let's even say when the black swan happened from $3. Can you see? It shows you, yes, we've seen massive recovery because from 1.1 to, let me see, 2.6. That's a good recovery. On a daily time frame, I've not seen any nice structure for you to buy back. Now let's go to weekly to see if we're going to have, even it's not a buy. So XRP is a sell right now. No matter how retrace is done, please stay away from XRP because you can see on a weekly time frame, no buy. On a daily time frame as well, no single buy has been activated. So our advice, stay for, except you cut it when it dropped to $1, then you can say, okay, after at least I cut it. But if it's right now you're looking to get into the market, don't forget the week is just starting afresh. When New York session open up, we might see the market just start coming out to test this low. You know, anytime we have this kind of spike, sometimes market will drag for a week, 2-3 weeks, and come and test the low before start moving up again. So are we to buy XRP now? No. Even with this news that is coming out, I don't think we should get into XRP. Now, all right, let's talk about the government shutdown that I see going on in the United States. You see that the government shutdown now enters the third week and ETF floodgate ready to burst. We've seen a lot of ETFs. And, you know, I said it, I think last week or so, I said maybe we're still going to have alt season. Maybe. Because to me, I feel like we are approaching the end of bull cycle, but maybe we're still gonna have alt season. Anything can happen. This is crypto. But if at all we're gonna have alt season, the US government shutdown needs to end. Why? Because the only thing that will make all this smart money come into altcoin is through ETF. It came in through ETF for Bitcoin. It came in through ETF for Ethereum. So where do you think it will come in for others? Because remember, I told you this bull cycle is different. It's been run by Wall Street. They are the one running the show now. It's bigger than any big crypto influencer you want to talk about now. Wall Street are running the show now because the ETF is now making them getting themselves exposed to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other coin indirectly, not directly, because directly you need to buy it and hold it yourself. But now they're trading the ETF through big investment company. And now since we have them in the game, we now need to look at crypto like Forex, the way they manipulate it, buy, dump. So we're going to be seeing this black swan. This is just the beginning. So why you need to learn how to trade and take charting seriously, so you will not be caught with this. Imagine a lot of people got liquidated. They've made massive profits. Massive, but they don't know when to get out, when to stay in the market. They got liquidated. People losing $60 million, 400 and something million dollars. Total over 20 billion US dollars. United States money was liquidated. So we'll wait for US government shutdown to end, and probably we could see that to help them, because the shutdown is what is delaying the likes of Solana and other crypto ETF approvals, and potentially is stalling the altcoin season. And like I said, by the time we get into January and nothing happens, I believe that we should be looking at bear market. And maybe we are even in it already. We are just in a denial, because if the market should drop to 108, move back to all-time high at 112 and drop below it now. If we draw the chart, let me show you one thing in trading. Let me draw the chart for you real quick. Let's go to our weekly so we can see it boldly, nicely. Let me tell you, this is it. You see now, in normal trading, this is what we call impulse movement. Now, this impulse now shows us the possibility of market coming down here. And if it should come down there and break 100, forget it. We are now in another direction. That means the market will start falling. And indirectly, we can say the bull run is over and we are now in what? Bear market season. Then what we'll be looking at is to wait for it to tank and start investing again for another 3 years. Because if you look at Bitcoin or crypto as a whole, if you want to make money in crypto, you must be ready to invest for 3 years. Start investing when it tank. Let's say, look at 2017. People that start investing from 2013, 2014, thereabout, they made money in 2017. People that start investing from end of 2018, or let's say 2019, they made money in 2021. People that start investing since 2022, let's just say 2023 beginning, they made money this 2025. Because even as they have this black swan, some people bought Solana when Solana was $10. Some bought XRP when it was 30 cents. Some bought Bitcoin when it was 15,000 US dollars. So as an investor and as a spot trader, you need to know those seasons, and that's when you need to start investing. And you know that I'm cashing out at the end of 3 years. If this cycle will still remain a 4-year cycle that we've seen for the past 3 cycles that have passed, that have passed. So if that is going to be, except I've seen some influential coming out now and they are saying, oh, I think this is going to be a different cycle. They are not even now saying super cycle again. There is a name they are giving it again. Please don't deceive yourself, guys. Smart money are now in the game and they do business. They want to buy, they want to sell. They want to buy, they want to sell. Adoption is what can keep this thing growing. If the adoption is insane now, yes, I'll tell you, please, anybody shouldn't sell. But if you are not seeing the graph of the adoption going up, but we are just seeing the graph of ETF going up, forget about it. It's Wall Street playing the game. So we need the adoption to grow. People need to start spending crypto. And that's why if you subscribe to my TikTok, I drop a video about South Africa just made it real, and I said South Africa now has they've now got over 650 store that you can spend your crypto via scan to pay. You can check the video out on my TikTok. It's there. So we need to know all this. Is it over yet? No, but we might be approaching the end of bull run. So US shutdown could delay Solana and other crypto ETF approvals, potentially stalling the altcoin season. Maybe we're gonna have it, maybe we're not gonna have altcoin season. We're gonna see about that. And let's take a look at Solana real quick. If you look at Solana was doing well, but you can see the red line is still there. I told you guys, let me show you where I asked you guys to get out of Solana. I told you get out of Solana at $223. $223. Solana tanked to 146. So you can see almost, I think it was only 2 or 3 coins I told you not to sell, but I still give you the stop loss. Like BNB, I remember that day it was moving well on Friday, but I gave you where to get out. Let me see where I told you to leave BNB. Here I put it here at 1,136. Then I think, was it Link? Maybe Chainlink too was doing well that day. Yeah, you can see Chainlink is still green. But where did I put it? I said get out at $21. And Chainlink tanked to $7. Do you see? So, and that's why you need to know this show is really, really serious. And how do I get to know all these things? Is years of experience. Is years of experience. I've lost so much money, blowout and all of that. All those things is what mold me, and that's why I now want to use it to give value, and other people will not do the same mistake or will not lose their money. Imagine I have a friend that made close to $8 million last bull run, but when the whole thing crashed, maybe he barely make $1 million. I'm not even sure. So I don't want you guys to do that. So please and please, if you like what we're doing on this show, subscribe to the channel, like and share. And do not forget to turn on your notifications so you always get the distance. All right, let's take a look at what the cryptocurrency market cap is now looking like, because that is really, really what important. Maybe we are now 3 billion or whatever. Let's see. Okay, we are still above 4 trillion US dollars. That is nice. But remember, we were close to 4.345 something, I don't know. Yeah, 4 trillion 200 something. That was what I saw on my last lesson. But now we are close to 4 trillion back. At least, thank God we are still above 4 trillion. But this could be the beginning. This could be dumping it. And the money. That's a check for they get to happen in crypto.